Hello and welcome to another new episode of Learning Simplified. In today's tutorial, we are going to learn how to create a calculate, a by input calculate actually. As you can see over here that there are two spaces provided to provide your input into, and here I am going to provide the first input, which is 12. This is the second input. I am selecting an option, submitting, and here comes the result. If we now provide a decimal value, something like this, and if we select another option for say minus and we submit, and we can see that here comes the result. That means it is working both in case of integer numbers and in case of decimal numbers. In the same way, we are providing here 100, 10, and here comes the result 1000. And if we press here divide, then we can see that here comes the result. So everything is working properly in this particular segment. So this is what we are going to achieve in today's tutorial. In the first case, all we need to do, we need to create all these form elements inside, and then we need to create those JavaScript programmings such as they can perform this task easily. So here we go. We are getting back to our project, and here inside this body tag we are now typing as go to view, toggle soft wrap. There it goes. Now here so we are changing these parameters. And at the end, we are now providing so far all these things have been created. So let's get back to our project and reload, and we can see that this is the outcome of the HTML that we have created so far. So here it is, and we can see that all those things are now in place in their proper positions as we expected from our HTML coding. Now let's get back to our JavaScript project. Here the first thing we can see that here are two input values, those we have to retrieve of this form field, and then we have to make necessary calculations, necessary arithmetical operations. Those are provided over here. After retrieving those data, we have to logically first interpret that those things are those data inputs, those are numbers practically, not a particular string or characters or a set of characters or words. So these are the first things that we need to ensure. Then all we need to do, if user provides here plus sign and if he presses a submit button, then these two input values, those will be added. If the user provides here the negative sign, those will be creating a difference, and the difference will be executed into this particular div that we have created at the end of this project. And in the same process we will be able to multiply or to divide those input values, and we will be able to show them into this yellow background div. If we now get back to our project, first of all we have to retrieve those values. We'll be needing an ID here, so that is what we are looking for. This is the first input, input 1. Retrieve the second input value that we have provided. This is input 2. This value should be retrieved, and the retrieved value should be placed against a particular variable y here. And in the third case, all we need to do, we need to retrieve this value 2, which is operator. So that's why we need to create another variable So this is the third value that we have to retrieve from our form field that has been created over here. So these are the three values, those have been retrieved from the form field. If this is the first case, we said that in the first case all we need to do, we need to first check in for the numbers. The input, those have been provided, whether they are numbers or whether they are strings, those things should be checked in the first case. So that is what we are doing. We are first checking that the input value of x or this one. Now what is this particular line saying? First of all, it is checking whether x is a number or not, or this double pipeline, this symbol indicates OR situation. This is practically symbolizing the option of OR, whether this one or this one. So it is practically checking whether input 1 is not a number or input 2 is not a number. So this is the first thing that it is going to check here. If it is true, then all it is going to do, it is going to alert the user as insert number. So this is the first thing that it is going to check, and if it is not, else. Now the question is, if both of them are numbers, then all we need to do, if z is compared to, so this is variable z, it is not variable y. So we have to say here that if variable z is compared to plus sign, then all it is going to do, it is going to add these two numbers. So first of all, I am going to the conventional law. So this will be our first case. Do not argue now, I know what you are thinking. Then comes if, the else if condition. If the retrieved value of operator from the input operator is minus, then it will be showing you a minus value. First of all, create all those things. Now this is the thing that we have created in the first situation, but do observe that there is no such instruction to instruct you what to do after we do all those stuffs, all these things. So this is now we are going to do right now. And after this condition is met, then it will return the value, and the rest of the program execution or program functioning, those will be stopped. So this is the thing that we are going to do. We are returning it. We have created another div over here which has an ID of results. So all we are going to do, we are going to copy it and we are going to place it over here. Just copy now. Now place them into the position. The rest of the things that is remaining over here is to come back into your input type submit, and here we are stating that on click. What will happen on click? Have we created any function? We haven't created any function. So this is the thing that we need to do first. Create a function. What should be the name of the function? Of course it is calculator, and that thing will be without parameter and everything will be inside. So here it goes. Now we have a definite function name calculator, and here we are stating this is the function name and this is the function. So on click option, this thing will be happening over here. Let's press Ctrl F5, and here first of all create something that is not a number. Submit, and you can see now that this part of the program, that means isNaN, is now into action. It is now checking whether those provided inputs, those are practically number or a string, and it found that it is not a number, it is a string, and that is why this particular instruction is being executed over here, insert number. So what we are doing now, we are providing 12 and we are providing anything other than a number. Now just submit. you can see that here it is providing an insert number option. So this is the second time it is now showing you the exact alert box. Instead of a string, all we are going to do, we are now going to provide here two numbers, and first of all we are multiplying it, and we can see that the product is now getting executed over here. If you now divide, now you can see that here comes the result of the division. If you now minus it, then you can see that it is. Now we will be facing a particular problem. What will be happening here? Just go ahead, press this plus button, submit, and you can see that instead of getting summed up, they are practically getting concatenated. That means this 300 number, here it is, and this 24 number, both of them are getting concatenated. But you practically wanted to sum them up, but instead of summing, they are now getting concatenated. So why such problem? Let's find out the answer over here. We can see that in this particular summed up condition, this variable a, this is assigned against variable x and variable y. All you wanted to sum them up, and this is the symbol of arithmetical sum up. But unfortunately in JavaScript, the syntax of concatenation is a plus sign too, and that is why instead of summing these two variables, these two numbers up, they are practically concatenating them. So this is the main problem that we need to understand. So what to do if we want to get rid of this kind of problem? All we are going to do, we are going to append this plus sign before each and every variables those we want to sum up. Control F5, 12, 12, which is equals to 24, and we can see now this is the result, this is the summed up value. We are practically appending here this plus sign, and after that we can see that all those things are now getting summed up. So here comes the result. If we now provide here 120 and here it is 12, now minus, submit, you can see it is 108. If we now multiply, this is 1440, and if we now divide, we can see that the result is 10. So hope you guys have liked this tutorial. If you guys have liked this tutorial, then do not hesitate to hit that red subscribe button down below. Hope to see you guys in our next project, into our next tutorial. Till then, bye.